Isn't this a different beginning for the Voodoo Garden programs? I'm going to get right into it. Yep, I'm not going to sit there and talk to you all day. I want to get right on this because there are things I need to show you. And so let's just start with a close-up of this. Yep, that's the little tiny R on the right, sniffing the pot, because he always has to sniff the new things in the Garden of Voodoo. This, by the way, is called a Buddha belly plant. Yes, it is. Remember this? Look familiar? I've grown this from a seed long ago in the Voodoo Garden. Well, what happened is it started as a little sprout, grew up, had big beautiful leaves, it got this stem. What happened is it just seemed to die. All the leaves fell off, it just went dormant. And I think that's what it was dormant. I took it out of the Voodoo Garden, took it upstairs, put it by a window and just forgot about it. And I didn't water it hardly at all, just once in a blue moon I watered it, just left it there. And then recently, when I redid my potting soil with the compost, I mixed some up, mixed some new soil in, repotted that into this pot with the new soil, gave it some water, and look what happened. New leaves sprouted. It's like it woke it up. We got new growing tips all over the place. And we also have this. This is kind of beautiful. This is a flower stalk for a Buddha belly. And if you ever do grow a Buddha belly, by the way, they are a fun plant to grow. They have big, beautiful leaves. They have this little gut right here, and it looks like it has two arms coming up, like the little Buddha statues reaching up for the sky. But this is a flower stalk. And if you ever grow Buddha belly, take a look at this up close. And if your eyesight is bad like mine, just get yourself a magnifying glass. It'll put out all kinds of little orange flowers, which really don't look like much. But if you look at them really close, you'll notice that there are some male flowers and there are some female flowers. Yes, they have different types of flowers on here. So what you'll need to do is take a little toothpick or a little Q-tip and pollinate. Get some pollen from the male flowers, put it on the female flowers. You'll be able to tell. Now, all of the flowers aren't out yet, so we don't have any male flowers, any female flowers. The male flowers come out first. You take the pollen from the male flowers and you'll know the male from the female. The female has the sticky goo on it. I think it's nectar. And the male flowers have the little stalks of pollen on it. You pollinate it and eventually it'll put out a seed pod. Yes, they do. And I'm going to probably show you, if this does put out seeds, I'll show you that in the future. But I wanted to show you this because it's something that has been sitting upstairs for, I think, months now, and it finally sprung back to life. Yeah, it has all kinds of new life coming out of it, and it's something that's going to be downstairs now in the Voodoo Garden for quite some time. I wanted to show you this because it's an ongoing thing. The Voodoo Garden isn't just a one-shot, you see it and that's it. I like to give you updates on how things go from time to time. So let's back you up, okay, because you're right up here by the plant. I need to back you up and tell you about a couple more things that I think you're going to be interested in. Something's got its attention over there, and you could probably hear it. I'm going to show you that, but hold your horses. I got to show you one more thing first, and then we're going to get to the main event in this program. This was the Buddha belly. I'm going to set it aside. And you remember, I think it was the last episode, I showed you the Praxis cherry. I brought it out here, set it on the floor. I was showing you how it grew, all this other stuff. Well, something happened to it, and it was very unexpected and very unfortunate. But the weird thing about it is, it never ceases to amaze me how things can change and you just don't expect it. Okay? Well, that being said, that explains what I'm going to show you. I had the plant out here, I was showing you, I put it over there on the shelf underneath the lights, right to your right by your leg. Well, it was underneath the bright lights, it was growing out, and it was growing up. Fruiting, flowering, having a good old time, making me really proud. I was patting myself on the back for being such a freaking botanical genius. And then the plant did something that I really didn't expect, but I should have expected. It broke. Yep, there's no easy way to say it. The plant just went snap and it fell down because it got so big and it got so heavy. I didn't prop it up the way I was supposed to because I thought it was doing fine. Well, I overestimated what the plant was going to do, so then it fell. But out of catastrophe came something that taught me something. Check this out. A rascal's eye view of the Voodoo Garden. I love different perspectives. This is the Praxis cherry. It's in a very small pot, actually, for a tomato plant. It's in about a 14-inch pot, and it has quite the overhang. Look at that. It's all self-supporting. There's nothing holding that. It comes out about 2.5 feet out, not just up, but out. And then we go up. This is one big plant, no matter how you measure it. It's very healthy. It's growing good. Standard potting mix with a little bit of compost, and it gets compost tea. But one of the things I was really happy about is it was flowering continuously, and it's fruiting all over the plant. I'm not going to go all over the plant to show off every single tomato, but it did. And one of the things I was very happy with just the other day, look, ripening fruit. Yep. The tomato plants outside haven't even begun to set fruit, but the one in the Voodoo garden, not so bad. And yet the bad comes over here on the other side of the plant. This was the avalanche, or the plantalanche. Yep, it went thunk, and it just snapped and fell. The morning I came in, this was all on the side. The leaves were wilted. And I thought, oh crap, I just lost about half my plant. It fell over. And I didn't know what to do because it had all these beautiful tomatoes on here. And you can't, well, it's not easy to root a piece this big. It's almost impossible to root a piece this big, especially when it's setting fruit. I'd have to cut it down, root a whole bunch of different pieces. It would have just been a mess, and then the plant's all lopsided. So I just left it. I didn't want to deal with with the sadness of this. And look what happened. I'm going to show you up close and personal so that you might take a little bit of hope. Here's the spot where it broke. Yep, it just snapped. Right there at the tip of my finger. You can see where it's all opened up. Well, I left it like that, and oddly enough, the plant, where it was sending through nutrients through this part of the stem, it bypassed it, and the lower part of the stem, which isn't broken, it started strengthening that, and that was getting a little bit fatter. And this has been 2 days now, and look, perky leaves, nothing's dying. That is something that I never expected. When a plant bends over and falls, that's nothing. But when it snaps and it opens up and you can see the inside, you just expect it's dead. You know, you got to cut that off. Well, this might help you when you're outdoor gardening. Not all the time do we actually get what we expect. And I'm glad I didn't. So this may look a little odd, but now it's just a vine. It turned out from a self-supporting plant to be a vining plant. So I don't know what's going to happen with this, but I do have hope. And as a backdrop, the vine, I might as well show you this. What the heck? This air potato is going a little bit nuts. Yeah, it's going all over the room. I'm going to be showing you updates on that in future episodes. But for right now, that's what I wanted to show you. The hope that came out of something that was kind of catastrophic. And you can hear some sounds coming out. I'm going to show you what those sounds are. There we go. Hi. Yep, this is not a plant, but it is a beauty, isn't it? Isn't she? Yes. This is a kitten. A new life in the Voodoo garden. Ah, it's something different. Hey. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, you're safe with me. I will never leave you. No. This little beauty is living Velcro. You know how kittens are, those of you who have cats. This is something I did not expect. No, it is a total gift from nature. I was outside, well, those of you who tune into my other programs on the Praxis 5572 channel, I've mentioned that there's a white cat out there, a feral cat, a stray cat, that was pregnant. I had, I would have had her spayed had I had any kind of control over the situation. She just happened upon the property. Well, she ended up having kittens. She had them in the overhang of the chicken coop up in the soffits. Yes, she did. Well, she was doing all well and good, and I was putting extra food and eggs and meat into her food bowl in the red shed out there to make sure she was extra fed so that she could take care of her babies. I've planned on once she was done raising her babies and getting them old enough, I was going to have everybody spayed and neutered and have all of these cats running around on the farm to help keep the mice population down and things and take very good care of them. Well, something happened, and I think she was moving her babies because she's no longer in that overhang. She decided to move them to the wood pile. At least I think. That's my guess, because I don't know. It's not like she sends me a memo every time she does something. Well, out in the middle of the yard. I was out there protecting one of my trees because a deer ate the top of it. And Rascal started barking. I looked over in the middle of the yard, and there was this little thing in the middle of my yard, nowhere near anything, arched up, tail up, sitting on its butt with its claws out. And of course, it's this little tiny thing. It didn't have any claws, barely had any teeth, scared to death. And Rascal wasn't trying to hurt it. He was just barking and running around and having a good time, scaring the living daylights out of it. Finally, a cat he can catch. And I didn't know what to do. I couldn't give it back to Mom because I don't know where she is. So I have me a cat. Yes, I do, because that's my job. If I find something like that, I am the caretaker. So now I am her caretaker. She's a female. I'm pretty sure. I haven't really examined her, but I brought her in, put her in a box, put a couple shirts of my old white thermal shirts underneath there, and I've been taking care of her. Yes, I have. Her name is Clover, since I found her in the clover. She's what's called a muted calico. Now, normally calicos are 3 different colors and they're female. Sometimes you may get a male that's calico, but more than likely it's a female. And this one has 3 different colors, but this is what's called a muted or pastel calico. Absolute beauty. Look at the eyes. Stunning blue. You can just look at those eyes forever. White feet. The most gentle manner. And when I first got her, she was definitely wild. She would hiss at me. She would open her mouth and hiss at me. She wouldn't try and claw me because she was too young to really do anything. I put her in the box. I let her sit there for a few hours, and then I came over with some milk, some room temperature milk, gave that to her with an eyedropper. For the first day, she had nothing but milk, and then I'd wipe her little behind and down underneath. That would spur her to pee and get rid of her waste. You have to do that with a young kitten because they can't do it on their own, and the mother usually licks them down there to get them to go to the bathroom, and it can harm them if you don't. So I knew this. I've raised enough young animals. I took care of her, looked her over. She had a couple fleas. I removed those, killed them, and she's totally flea-free now. The next day I gave her minced room temperature raw chicken along with her milk, and she really enjoyed that. She had trouble eating it. The third day, this is the third day, she ate the raw chicken just right out of the bowl, and she drinks the milk right out of the bowl, so there's no more having to give her food in the form of an eyedropper. And today, by the way, is the first day she's meowed. Yes, she has. Rascal is clawing at the door. He wants to come in, but they will never meet, not inside the house, because what's going to happen is he chases cats. He has a nature, and I can't change that. And I don't want to be harsh with him and try to get him used to something that he does not want to get used to. He is never going to be friends with a cat. He can't even be friends with dogs. So he tolerates the other 2 dogs, Tiki and Tanner, but he doesn't really much love them. You know what I mean? Some dogs are just like that. He's a people dog. So he's always going to chase cats. This one here is going to be in the Voodoo Garden until I get the area out in the coop. There's a fenced-in area inside the coop. I'm going to put chicken wire all the way around it. I'm going to put in a bed, a bowl, a light, all the creature comforts of an outdoor cat. And maybe in a couple weeks, she's going to be going out there so that she can get used to the chickens, but be separated from the chickens. It'll be inside the coop. She'll be able to see the chickens will see her. She'll learn that they're her family, but not to attack them. The mama cat and the other cats, they go inside the coop every now and then. They'll be able to see her. She'll get used to them, but also be kept away from them, because once in a while the male cats will kill kittens. Not all the time, but sometimes. She is my responsibility. I have to ensure that she is going to be happy and healthy as much as you can do. So I'm taking care of her. I just wanted to give you a nice good close-up. And then once she's old enough, she's going to be in a cage until she's old enough. Then she's going in to have her shots and be spayed. Yep, she's going to be spayed so that she doesn't produce more kittens. We don't need any more kittens. The world has enough cats. I'm doing my job. I'm going to still try to catch the mother as soon as I know that her kittens are spayed, since now she's become a little bit more friendly and coming closer. She won't come near me, but I can set a trap to catch mama. And then I'm going to have her spayed as well. And then I will have cats running around, semi-tame, but not really tame. I want them to hunt. I want them to be outdoor cats and to hunt. And I'm also going to be redesigning the coop to where it has a kitty door, to where they can come in the winter and stay warm and have kitty beds up on shelves. And that way they can stay out of the weather, and they'll also be used to seeing me. Yep, I have plans for this little one. She doesn't know it yet, but she's going to have a really good life. You know, yesterday she would just stand there. Today she's investigating and turning into a cat. She actually bats around the plants. I'm watching her every second that she's out here because I don't want her eating anything or having any kind of problems. So she's walking around having a good time. About 3 times a day I come down here, close the door, sit down, and we just play. We get to know each other. That's the thing. You got to spend time. If you're going to be caretaker with animals, they're not, this is just my position, okay? As far as I'm concerned, they're not property. They're not toys. They are companions. This is my companion. She is a resident of the farm, and she is going to get every benefit of everything I can possibly do for her as a friend, a companion, a caretaker, and she's going to have a really good long life. Nope, she's not nailed down to the farm. She can leave anytime she wants, but I would like to make it to where she wants to stay, and she chooses to stay. And I think that would be the biggest compliment of all, is that once she goes out there and she can go anywhere she wants, she decides to stay with me. I think that would be great. Hopefully you're going to be seeing more and more of her. I can pretty much assure you you're going to be seeing more and more of her because we're going to bond. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay, I got to get going. I got to feed her a little bit more and play a little bit more. If you have any questions, or comments, post it in the comment section below. Me or somebody, I don't think she's going to answer your questions because she's just a little bit too young to reach the keyboard. But one of us will get back to you. Until next time, this is Ray and little Calico. We're out of here.